Hi guys, welcome back. Today's session we are going to learn list in Python. So this is very important concept in Python. So in Python, list is a built-in data structure that allows you to store and manage a collection of data. So what is collection of data? Usually we create a one variable for one data. If you want to store a name, you can say name equal to value, right? So if you want to store like integer value, something like age equal to value you have to give, right? But in a list is used to hold multiple data in a single variable, right? So in one variable you can store collection of data. Suppose if you want to store all the mobile name or brand name of car or student name, so in one variable you can store all the data, right? So lists are very versatile and widely used in the Python programming due to the flexibility and ease of use. So first, what we are going to do, we are going to start. First, we have to declare a list. So you can give any variable name. So I want to store collection of student name, or I can say brand name of car. So I can say cars equal to, I have to give a square bracket. So if you add this square bracket in Python, by default, it is considered as a list, right? So if any collection of data you want to add within the square bracket, so each data, each value, we can call it as an item in the list, right? I'm going to store item within this. So I'm going to store data as a string over here. So now I can say going to add if it is a car brand, something like you can say within this string value, right? So within a double quote, we can add BMW, or within a and another value, something like, you can say Swift, or another value you can add Audi, or you can say Tesla, right? So this is the way you need to add a list of data in the one single variable. So list are defined using a square bracket, right? And individual elements within the list are separated by commas. So it is considered, BMW is a one item, and Swift is one item, and the Audi is one item, Tesla is one item, right? If you want to print this, then you can print cars, right? So now let me run this. See now all the item it is getting printed. Right? This is the way we have to declare and store the value and get the value from the list. So usually in Java, right, while declare a list, we have to create an object of the array list, then need to add the data over there. But here in Python, if you say variable name equal to square bracket, Python by default, it's understand that we know we are going to store a list of item over here, right? For now, if you want to know the data type, right, whether we have added a what data type we have added, if you want to know, you can use, using a type, you can verify the data type using a type. So we can simply say type of cars. So now this is going to return you the what is the type we have stored. So let me run this. See now it's returning a list. Right? Fine. Then if you want to add element in the list, now I have already added a 4 item. But suppose if I want to add a one more item in the list. So for that we have one of the function called append is, right? So what is append means? Append is a function that helps to add a single item inside the list. So how we have to add that? So simply you can say cars is a variable. Here we need to add a one more item. So I can say append, we need to pass the value. So something like, data we can add. So now if I am printing that car, print cars. So now let me run this. See now BMW, Swift, Tesla. Other than that, it's added Tata as well, right? So now in the list, in the cars list, we have added one more item as well. Right? This is the way we have to add one more item using the append function. Right? It's getting added in the list. If you are adding a duplicate value also, list is going to accept the duplicate value as well. And also it is maintaining the insertion order. Insertion order means item will store as per the index. So now if you see over here, this will be going to store it in a 0th index. This is first index, this is second, this is third, and this is the fourth index. This is the way the value item will be going to store over here. Suppose if you want to add item in the middle of the list, right? Here it is added only in the last item, right? But if you want to add item in between the list, so in this case, what we have to do, we have another function called insert is there. Right now, I have added a data, it is getting printed in the last item. But now, instead of append, what I'll do, I'll go with the insert, right? Here, we need to pass a 2 argument. So, first argument will be in which index I just wanted to add an item. So, if I'm saying like, second index, right? If I'm saying second index, so what happened after that BMW Swift, the next one, this is 0th index, this is the first index, second index. Second index, whatever the values I am giving, it will going to store. I can say, right? Now if I am trying to print this, see now what happened in the second index, whatever the value we have given, it is getting stored. So this is the way we have to insert a value. If you want to, can use append function. If you want to store, if you want to add an item in the last. If you want to, in between, if you want to add, you can go with the insert. Right. So now the next thing is if you want to add a list of items. Right now we have added only one item. Right. Now if you want to add a multiple item in the existing list. So what we can do, we have another function called extend is there. Right. Then we have a function called extend. So using extend, suppose what we can do, can say cars extend. So here we need to say within a square bracket, we can add a number of value over here. Right? So now I can say data, comma, we can say ng, right? And 2 value I have added. Now this is going to insert in the existing list. So now let me run this. See now what happened? BMW Swift Audi Tesla. After that, this 2 item is getting added. So we can add a number of item over here, right? So if you want to add a list of the item, then we have to use the extend function, right? So this is the way we can insert a value. You can append a value, you can insert a value, or you can use a extend the function as well. You can use. Now, if you want to accessing the element, right? So list to maintain the order of element. That's what we have seen as they are inserted, allowing you to access the element by their index. Right? So the first element is at the 0th index. Second is at the first index. So if you want to get the first element, if you want to print first element, then we can say cards of. So now if I'm adding a cards, what happened? It is getting printed all the values from the cards list. But now if I want to get only one values, right? One item, I can say 0, right? So I'm saying in the cards list, I want to get only 0th index value. So what is that 0th index value? So this is what it's going to return you. If I run this, see now, this is the value it is getting return you. Suppose you want to say third element, right? So now third is a 0, 1, 2, 3. This is what it's going to return. See now, this is the value it is getting returning. Right? If you want to get a list of item from the list, right? So now, suppose if I'm saying like, I can say from the 0 to third index, second index, I just wanted to print. Now I'm getting only one value, right? Instead of that, I just wanted to get the value from the 0th index to second index, or all the value from 0 to second, or 0 to 3, or first to 3. So something like that if you want, what we can do, we have another way we can do. Suppose here we need to say 0 and colon we need to pass, right? So meaning that this is a start index, okay? This is a starting index, then this is a end index. So if you are adding start index and end index, I'll show you what it is going to return you. See now, BMW Swift and Audi. So 0, 1, 2 only it is returning, meaning that start index will be going to include, meaning that 0 will going to include. if you go with the 3 means third index, that is the end index will be exclude over here. So before the 3 minus 2, what is that? 2. So 0, 1, 2 only will going to return you. So here in this case, 0 is a starting index. Starting index will be include. End index will be exclude over here. Right? Suppose if I am not providing a starting index. So what happened? So now I'm saying one day I'm not providing any start index. So if I'm giving it in this way, what happened? By default, it's going to start from 0 only. If I run this, see same value it is getting printed. Right? Suppose I'm not providing the end index. So what happened? Suppose I'm saying from that it's going to start first one. Right? First one to I'm not added any end index. So in this case, if I run this, see now what happened from that first two. First means this one. First two completely all the item from the list is getting printed. Right? So list of item if you want to print, this is the way we need to print. If I'm not providing end index, it will go and return till the last item of the list. So if not providing the first index and the last index as well, then what will happen? Suppose if I am not providing any first index also and last index also. So now this case, if I run this, so first index also is going to take up by default 0. If I am not providing any last index, then it's going to go with the till last item of the list. Right. So this is the way we can get the value. But now I just want to skip some value. Maybe I just wanted to start from 0 and I don't want the first element. Maybe I want to print the second element. Right, 0, 1 I don't want. Second I want to print. Third I don't want. Fourth I want to print. So in this case, we can skip the some value. Right, I want to print first item and third item, fifth item. So in this case, here we can skip something. In this case, you can use we have a 3 argument we need to pass. First, I'm saying like, 0th index, I need to start from, I can say 0th index. This is a starting one. And I can say now I have a 0, 1, 2, 3, 5 item I'm having, right? So 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 5. So now I'm saying a start index and end index. And also I can say 6 because end index it is going to exclude. So I now here the third argument I need to pass skip. Suppose I'm saying a 2. So now I'm run this, I'll show you that. See, first item it is getting printed. After that 2 it skipped. So 1 and 2 it skipped and second only it is getting printed. And after that Tesla is it's not printed. And after that it's getting printed the another value. So first it is printed, second it's not printed, third it is printed, fourth it is not printed, fifth it is printed. So this is the way the value is getting printed. So we can able to skip the item. If you want to skip and if you want to go, then you can go in the 3 argument we can pass over here. Right. So this is what, we have to get the value from the list. So now the next item is stored in this way. So 0th index, first index, and second index. So this is actually left to right. Right now, I can fetch the value based on the index, but at the same time, if it is stored right to left. So I want to access the right to left means in this case, suppose I can say -1. So -1 means this is the first item, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, right? So -1 means this will going to return the last value from the list. So now let me run this. See now the last item it is getting printed. So how it is going to store right to left means this is -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. This is the way the value is getting printed. Right. Now if you print all the values, directly you can print cars. So it is going to print all the values. Now if you want to reverse the value, I mean right to left. So in this case, what we can do, we can say colon and we can say one more quadrant, that is a first index and second index is not, first index and end index is not given. I am giving a skipping. So I can say -1. So now let me see. Now it's getting printed all the value from the reverse order. Right? It's printed reverse order. Fine. So now next, if you want to know the index of this element, let's say I want to know the index of the shift or index of the order, right? So in this case, what we can do, we can say cors dot index. Index is a, you can say index. Here we need to pass what value you want to know the index. So suppose I am saying like, order. So now this is going to return you index of the particular item. So index means now order where it is stored 0, 1, 2. So now it's going to return you the 2 only. Right? Now if you say another value, maybe it's a mg. Right? So now let me run this. See, now this is in a fifth index, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right? This is stored in the fifth index. So this is the way it is going to return you the index of the item in the list. Here you need to understand, we learned list is accepting duplicate value as well, right? So if there is a 2 BMW is there, right? If you ask, index, then what happens? It is going to return you the first item index only. Right, fine. Now, the next things what we are going to learn is how to remove the item from the list. You can use remove function. So, it remove the item from the list. So, how we can remove that? So, simply I can say, here we can do that. Cors dot remove. So, now remove which item you want to remove. Suppose I want to remove the BMW. Right now, I am just wanted to remove the BMW. Now, I am just simply printing the cards. So, what it is going to print? It's going to remove the BMW. Remaining value will going to print. See now, BMW is getting removed. Remaining item is getting printed. Right. So, next if you want to remove the item as per the index. Right. Now, as per the value, it is, removed. But if you want to remove the item as per the index wise. So in this case, what we have to do is we have another function called pop is there. So simply you can say cors dot pop. So here we need to pass the index. Now I can say first index, right? So if I'm saying a first index will going to remove. So meaning that Swift will going to remove, remaining will going to print. Now, see now BMW is printed, Swift is not printed because this is, we are saying like, we want to remove the item from the list. So pop, it's going to remove the one item based on the index. Right. Suppose if you are not providing the index value, simply if you add only the pop, only the argument, you are not passing any argument over here, not adding any index over here. So if I run this, what will happen? See, if I run this, it's removing the last item from the list. See now, after the Tata, MG is there, MG is not there. So if I am not providing any index, then it is going to, by default value is the last item of the list. So last item is going to remove. So this is the way it is going to remove the value. Right, in pop argument, by default in Python, index is length of the list. So last item going to delete. So suppose if you want to delete entire item from the list, right, then you can use a clear function. Right, clear will remove all the item from the list. Right, suppose I can say cors dot clear. Right, so now I'm saying I'm trying to print the cars. It's not going to print anything. This is an empty list. So this is what, complete list function. Now, the next thing is if you want to copy the entire list. So in this case, you can copy using copy function. right? So now suppose I'm just removing this one. Now we have if I run this, it's going to print all the value. Now I just wanted to copy this item into the another variable. So in this case, what we can do, we can say cost dot copy. So it's going to copy entire value. So maybe you can store it in another variable. Duplicate equal to, we can see in this way. So now let me print duplicate. Okay. Let me print duplicate. So because it's copied and it's stored in another variable. So this list is stored in another variable. So I'm just print this. See now entire value is getting printed because I'm trying to print the duplicate value only. Right, it is returning all the copied item from the another list. Fine. So next I want to know how many BMWs there in the list. Right now we have only one item, right? Now suppose I just adding one more item as well, BMW. So now let me run this. See here we have a two item is there. BMW, two BMW is there. Right now I just want to know how many BMW is there in the list. So we have a function called count is there. Right, so in the count, so now I can say, let me print again. It's printing BMW as well. Now I just wanted to count. So I can say, I say duplicate as well, dot count. So now here we need to pass which item we need to check. So I can say BMW. So now let me print this. So directly we can print. So let me print this. We'll see. See now it's printing 2. It's returning the count of BMW. Right? If you want to print all the value from the list, what we can do? So we can use a loop. Right? This can be easily iterated over using loops, which makes processing each element in the list more convenient way. For example, if you want to print all the values, simply I can say for loop. We can use for and duplicate. So we can say duplicates. I mean, another variable I'm creating, I can say this way. So now I just wanted to duplicates in duplicate. So now I want to print the value. So I can print, here I can say dupes. Right, because each and every value, every item is going to store over here and it's going to print. So let me run this now. See now, all the values is getting printed one by one values. Right. So list can be easily iterated. Right. So using a loops. Fine. So this is what, I hope this is clear for you. So this is completely, list in Python. We can use all the functions, whatever the functions we have covered, you can practice and we'll cover, we'll learn some other concept, tuple in the next session. Right. Next we are going to learn tuple in Python. So thanks for watching.